Welcome to my porch, everyone. It's Saturday afternoon. Lovely enough to be out on my porch. A little too cold to be out there, but it's nice in here. I'm here with Siobhan, and Siobhan is writing all kinds of fun fantasy stuff about turnips. And this is where I at this point, I just ask you, what the heck is going on?
Oh, yeah, my Turnip Whisperer saga, I guess. It turned into a saga.
Sagas are good.
Yeah, the first story is Turnip Farmers Are Heroes Too.
Okay.
And that's a flash story I had published in On Spec magazine. It's a Canadian magazine. You're Canadian, right?
You betcha.
Yeah.
All day, every day. Maple tree right out there.
Oh, yeah. I don't. Have you heard of On Spec magazine or?
I have. I can say I honestly have not, but
Okay.
I will now go and look it up because that's
Yeah. Yeah, that was the first one.
Okay.
About a turnip farmer kind of telling his tale of how he saved the village from bandits.
Okay.
And no spoilers. But it does not. It has an unexpected ending, I think, for most people.
How long ago was that? When did that come? Was that first?
Let me. I got here. So here's the magazine.
Okay. Okay. Very cool. On Spec magazine.
Yeah. This is. Let me see. I think this was like 2014 or something.
Okay. Oh, oh wow. So this is.
Yeah, it's a little while ago.
This is over a decade of.
Yeah, winter issue 2014, 2015.
Okay. So we've got a turnip farmer who saves the village.
Yeah.
And that's the first story. Now, is that like the beginning of the world, or is that sort of in the middle, and then you fleshed it out further back and forth, or how's all that working?
It was just a kind of a fun little one-off thing, which was it started from like a forum comment where someone had went to a con and talked to an author they liked, and the author told them turnip farmers are boring. So so I took that as a prompt of like, well, okay, let's see if they really are boring,
Excellent. I love it. Never ever challenge a writer that something's boring. We will find a way.
Yep. And then so I was like, well, I could maybe turn this into a one of those like little series where every story is its own individual adventure, right? So I the next one was of turnips and maidens. And I switched to third person. The first story is first person.
Okay.
I prefer writing in third person anyway. So, and then that's Turner the Turnip Whisperer meets a nymph who needs help, and then there's the chivalrous white knight who tries to also help, but in a very misogynistic way, right?
Perfect. So I love it. So it feels, if you, without having actually read these, and I when I do these chats, oftentimes, as everybody on Substack knows, there's just so much stuff out there, and we get so much, especially if you're subscribed to a lot. It's hard to sort of get ahead of this. Oftentimes, like now, I'm coming into this with knowledge of what you do from your notes and having looked at your page, but not having actually read the fiction.
Yeah.
So it sounds, from my ignorant perspective, it sounds like you're playing with sort of fairy tale tropes and attacking it from a more egalitarian perspective, something a little bit more, with a little bit more equality for all, which I think is fantastic. And I love it because misogynistic hero type characters are so annoying.
Yeah.
We all, I mean, in my age group, I grew up with them, and I'm one of my favorite things to do is to play with that and turn it inside out and attack it from the other way. So good on you for doing that. How many books are we talking? Like, are we talking books? Are we talking like a bunch of short stories? What's the plan?
Just well, the turnip ones are sorry. Just 3 stories. Because after Turnips and Maidens, which it took a really long time to find that magazine, that was published in Farce Writer. which I think it was like their second and last issue.
Okay.
It's not my fault. This
No.
yeah, and it's just like, it took so long to find a home for the story, so I kind of dropped it because I had plans to like maybe like Plants vs Zombies kind of thing, but with turnips or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I love it. I love it.
But then I posted them here on Substack, because the short story market is in a very rough place right now.
Sure.
Yeah, and
Substack,
people really,
we love the short stuff here, and
yeah,
this is new to me because I'm a long form writer, so I'm having a serious adjustment phase.
yeah.
I mean, I was told 300 word stories, and I heard 300-page story is what I heard. So
Yeah.
So okay, so
Yeah.
3 short stories. Now, is there a plan? Is this sort of like the only thing you're working with, or because I've read your bio and you've got a bunch. You're published in all over the place. You've got a bunch of stuff going on, and you have on Substack you're sort of becoming the turnip lady. You've got got that because it's talked up so much, but there's a lot going on with Siobhan, right? There's a whole other world out there. So what else is there?
So the other series I'm also working on is Beastie Cycle, which is kind of a throwback to the action adventures of Weird Tales. So I call it weird fantasy, right?
Excellent.
Yeah, and I comp it with Robert E. Howard's Conan with the video game Bloodborne. I get the feeling not too many people know Bloodborne on Substack.
I actually know Bloodborne from the movie.
The movie?
I'm certain, or maybe I'm thinking. No, I'm thinking Blood Rain. Sorry, I'm thinking Blood. I'm mistaken. I'm thinking Blood Rain. Bloodborne. I don't know. You're correct.
Yeah,
one of the ones who doesn't know it. So there you go.
Yeah, it was a PlayStation 4 exclusive. So unless you had a PlayStation, although I think people have managed to emulate it on PC, to varying success, right? But that one has a very strong gothic aesthetic, and you're a beastie hunter. You hunt beasts in there, and then it gets weirder as you progress, and so it's like that weirdness and the action of Conan stories, and again the weird fantasy adventure, and these are all again similar to the Turnip Whisperer stories.
You had me at Conan and Robert E. Howard. I was signed up. You said Weird Tales, and I was here's my money. There you go. So now those are published, right? These are stories that you've had success putting them out there.
No, actually, I had not had. Unlike the Turnip stories, I have never been able to sell my Beastie Cycle stories.
Okay.
Yeah, even though there's a growing number of sword and sorcery magazines popping up, but like it's the wrong time period. It's early 18th century, right? Yeah, and they're pretty strict on like, we just want like kind of Middle Ages or post Middle Ages. We don't want gunpowder or anything. It's like,
That seems so limiting. I mean, I write with my stuff. I've spread it out from 10,000 BC till tomorrow, and I mean, some of my I like what they're talking about. I tend to like the pre-gunpowder type stuff. I prefer the just straight up swords and hand weapons as a storytelling sort of setting. But honestly, sometimes there's a story to be told with more technology. There's a swords and sorcery tale in there beyond just swords. My story with Red Sonja, with the Robert E. Howard Red Sonja, not the one that everybody's familiar with the bikini, the actual Red Sonja that Howard created in 1934. She's a 17th century Russian fighter, muskets and cannon and all the rest of it. I've taken her and I put her. In his original tale, she didn't do much with sorcery. It was a very straight up sort of adventure war story. I put her into a more swords and sorcery vein. And my first villain for her to fight is actually an alien machine. So, I mean, I don't agree with the limitation. I think swords and sorcery just by its very nature, is sort of a wide open field, and
Yeah.
suggesting that it's only valid if it's got no gunpowder, and anything beyond that is ridiculous. My first Swords and Sorcery exposure, Thongor from Lynn Carter, which was post-apocalyptic sort of type technology, even though it was supposed to be set in 10,000 BC Lemuria. I love it. I love it. So your tales, your Beastie tales, are set with more technology, with a little bit more. You said 18th century stuff.
Yeah, early 18th century.
Excellent. Sounds fun. Fantastic.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's not like the gunpowder is overpowering. You're still gonna have to pull out a cleaver or something.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And, I mean, sorcery and gunpowder can be a very fun combination. You can do some fun stuff with that.
And I have actually read short stories where like the gunpowder is used to fuel the sorcery or something. You can guide a bullet through space or something.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's nothing wrong with mixing the technology with the sorcery. I mean, that's kind of one of the beauties of being a writer is to take things in an unexpected direction. So whoever is rejecting you just based on the fact that you've got gunpowder in your fantasy stories is full of nonsense. I disagree.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they're the ones paying. So
This is true. The people with the money have all the power.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got three turnip stories. We've got the Beastie cycle. Now, as I say, I read your bio, and you've got other things published. You've got more than just the turnip stories published. What else is published? What else can people find?
All kinds of stuff. I've started putting some reprints out. Recently, a recipe for corpse oil was originally published in Grimdark magazine. Also way back 2016, I think.
Well, reprints are fantastic. I mean, that's great. Old magazines are hard to find unless they've been digitized. They're very tough to. I used to own a used bookstore, and magazines don't last. Like once people read them, they tend to get recycled. The very few they keep tend to go into a box in a basement somewhere. They get moldy. It's just not. Magazines are not a really easy thing to find in sort of the old market. Which is why when you go to buy like a Weird Tales or something on eBay, it's insanely expensive. They're hard to keep.
Yeah.
So,
a lot of these are digital, or just online only markets. Yeah, I don't have too many physicals like this, And I think even OnSpec switched only to digital.
Yeah, it's the new world. I happen to be a paperback guy. I'm sitting here on my porch today, and I'm reading Canadian author, self-published Canadian author and I like, do you have it in paperback? That's my first question. Anytime I'm trying to buy something to review it, is like, can I have it in paperback so I can sit on my porch and read it? Because that's what I do. But I applaud the turnips. Now, I saw you doing something with, I can't remember who the other Substacker was, but I saw a video of you. And were you reading each other's work? I can't remember what. I can't recall.
Oh yeah, that was with the Ozark Bar. He was reading the third turnip story, Army of Turnips versus Cosmic War.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, he really enjoyed that and wanted to read that to help bring some traffic over to my Substack. Unfortunately, didn't move the needle too much. Yeah.
You do what you can. I mean, we're out here, pounding the pavement as best we can. For me, what we're doing here, this just actual, two talking heads talking about what we do, is more valuable. I love the idea of reading each other's work. I think that's great.
Yeah.
I love this talking about it because I can't read out loud. I'm terrible at reading out loud. If I take even my own stuff, if I read it, my brain reads faster than my lips move, and it end up sounding like I can't read. It's just not something I'm really good at doing. But this talking stuff and doing what it is you do. So what's next? Aside from are the dogs helping you?
Hey, sorry, let me close the door. The dogs are barking.
No worries. We have dogs. That's great. I love it. That's fantastic.
I have no idea what they were barking at.
They probably don't know either.
Yeah.
That.
The problem is, like, once one gets started, they all start.
Yes, yes. This is true. So what is up? What's the next adventure? Like, are you continuing with the turnip stories, the turnip whisperer stories, or are you looking to serialize different stuff on Substack? Is there, or are you still? I mean, I assume you're still pounding the pavement trying to get these into zines and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so no plans for a turnip story in the near future, but
Okay.
I have some ideas circling around. Yeah.
Cool.
Um, I still have a whole bunch of Beastie cycle stories. So those will keep coming out. And also a bunch of reprints, right? And then I also have a novel that I failed to get any interest from agents from because apparently it's too short.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, like one of the few comments I got from an agent because it's currently at 70,000.
Okay.
It's a weird fantasy adventure, kind of dark fantasy. I comp it with the 80s film Labyrinth, right?
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, I had an agent tell me like, oh, this is too short. Fantasy novels need to be 85 to 100K.
I mean, well, I guess it depends on the format and things have changed too because I grew up with paperbacks. I grew up with little, novel sized paperback novels, and the now that the size has sort of gone to this kind of a 6 by 9 is the standard. The word count has changed.
Yeah,
The font is everything's different. So I like my book that I'm working on outside of my project. My other book that I'm working on is a fantasy. I think of it as a fantasy brick because it's so long, but it's like 120,000 words, and it's not in the fantasy world. That's actually not that long. Uh,
yeah,
it's long, but it's not. It's not George R. R. Martin long.
yeah,
It Mine is, to me, it's palatable length. It's the kind of thing that you can take on vacation with you for a week and read it in the evenings, and you can finish it in a short term thing. So for a 70,000 word, that's like 3 times as long as anything I've published yet. So
yeah.
I don't think that's short at all because all of my
Yeah,
books, the ones that I've actually published, are 20 to 25,000 words. So 70,000 words, that represents a significant investment of time.
yeah.
And
I mean, still not. It still goes by pretty fast. But like, yeah, the agent didn't even look at the novel itself because again, it's a fantasy adventure. It's not some save the world or anything like that. It's very focused on one character and her going through a crazy fairy world.
so have you considered maybe serializing that on Substack?
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's what the picture I got commissioned from was art dude or
Oh, so yes, we were sharing some information on the art stuff. Yes, okay, so the fair. All right, that's good.
Yep, yeah, that's why I wanted the art to draw some eyeballs in because I know serials don't seem to always do that well. Like people will check out the first chapter and then there's a massive drop off, right?
I have seen this myself.
Yeah,
But I mean, all you can do is what you can do, and
mhm.
maybe for me, like Substack, you're having the art is helpful because
Mhm.
I've discovered that the articles I posted with, I went back and put art in all my
Yeah, yeah,
because it doesn't. People don't look if there's nothing to look
mhm.
at. People don't look, which is odd for a website that's dedicated to readers and writers. I
Uh, yeah,
should
readers, yeah,
but it is what it is. So okay, so you've got this book that you've shopped it to agents, and are you still shopping it? That's the other question
no,
because
I'm kind of done. Well, I guess they've pivoted towards anti fairies, and because most of the cast of characters are fairies in this book, it's
okay.
like, and I've tried to twist the query letter, be like, no, it's not like your court fairies from the romanticides. These are like authentic folklore based on folklore fairies, but nah, just no fairies.
I find that I found anyway that the agents that I dealt with had that were interested in genre stuff were surprisingly not. interested in the genre. Like they would shop the genre, sure, that's what they were doing. But when it came to the actual like what they were interested, they didn't seem to know either know very much about it or be all that interested in the fantasy sci-fi stuff that I was writing. I don't know if you found that too, but I just
Yeah,
felt
yeah.
the responses I got were like, wow, you don't even like the stuff that I'm shopping to you. Like it's not even your thing. Why are you suggesting that this is what you would shop to a publisher for me? I'm not sure I'd want you to anyway. If you're not
Yeah.
that enthusiastic about it, why would you want my submission? I've never understood that.
Yeah, like their definitions of like I saw one who defined epic fantasy as most of the characters aren't human. It's like what?
Well, okay.
Yeah,
Now
I don't know.
I've been hiring, and we've talked about the artist. I've hired artists, I've hired editors, and I've hired social media people, and all of these, to varying degrees, are or are not versed in our genre. They're not. They don't. In my case, I'm more superheroes and sci-fi and fantasy. Yours is more sort of a fairy tale, straight up fantasy type fairies and that sort of
Yeah.
thing. Which is to say that it's not straight up adventure. It's not straight up sci-fi. It's not straight up fantasy. It's we've got we have flavor in there.
Yeah.
One of the people I've dealt with, I actually hired a person off of Fiverr to do my Amazon ads, and she gets it. She actually, like, she understands my world as well as I do, which freaks me right out.
Wow.
She's sending back feedback on the new books and stuff, and I'm reading it and I'm going, where did you come from? Like, oh my
Yeah.
goodness. I'm so, even though I'm not getting a lot of money back from my Amazon ads, having somebody that you're dealing with professionally that actually understands your work is unique in my experience. And I don't know how you've run into, like, we've shared an artist and
Yeah.
you've with but have you found anybody that you've run across, an editor or an artist, anybody that sort of blew you away with how much they actually were enthusiastic about your work? Like it was a new thing for me.
Yeah, I've worked with some editors who did really like my work. Yeah, who I'm trying to remember his name, Sam Bello or something, Junior. Yeah,
Okay,
he used to he used to edit for Perihelion magazine. It was just an online magazine.
that I've heard of.
Um, oh really?
Yep, I've heard of.
Yeah, but he stepped away a few years ago. But he was very enthusiastic, and he gave me really good feedback. And yeah, I and editors like that are just kind of disappearing rapidly. I haven't met another editor who is like really wants to help you as a writer. Gives you feedback
Yeah,
and
I,
helps you improve. Right? Most of them it's like if they don't love your story, then you're out.
I'm fortunate. The one that I'm working with, she's not. I can't say that she's super enthusiastic about my work, but she's competent, and she's 75% of what she sends back to me is improvement. She does go a little bit too hard on my conversations, but I put that down to sort of just editor brain.
Yeah.
She sees the gunnas and the ain'ts and the weird phraseology that I use for my characters as part of their sort of conversational definition. She tends to go a little bit hard. So I actually don't ask her to give me correct. Like I don't correct it and send it back to me. Send me back the corrections, and I will decide what I'm using and what I'm not. Still depressingly bad at grammar. I am. I get these back, and I'm like, wow, I am so bad at this. But what's when it comes to outside of Substack, because we're here on Substack pretty regularly, and we're all sort of involved in each other's. We get each other's business, and we get each other's notes, and we get each other's emails. Outside of Substack, what's your next project? What's your next thing that you're trying to shop? Like, are you working the Beastie angle, or have you got the novel? You've decided you're sort of going to step away from the what's going on for Siobhan for the next?
Oh, well, I have a lot of editing to do of my own stuff.
Okay.
Like I have another novel that's also set in the same universe as my Beastie cycles, but it's in like the late 1920s.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah, it was kind of fun, like how would this world look like moved forward, with cars and all that,
very cool.
and you know, in significant historical events that might have shifted, how the world turns, right? Um, yeah, like I had finished that novel, but it's got a bunch of holes in it. I need to like go back and patch. So, and I've been wanting to because I love the intro. It's one of my favorite in media res intros I've written. So
Good
yeah,
stuff.
I
Yeah,
love the intros.
I'm gonna ask you to share that intro then, because that's not really spoiling anything. But
No, yeah,
I think I would say that anybody reading this right or watching us right now would be like, yeah, I want to read that. So maybe share that if you're happy with the editing of that portion, we'd love to see it. We'd love to see the intro. That sounds great. If you're happy, if it's something you love, I want to see it. I
yeah,
want
yeah. I'll probably post it or something like that. This one's definitely way too weird to ever submit to agents.
to.
Yeah,
Wait, I love that. That's fantastic. Way too weird to submit to agents.
yeah,
That's either going to be sort of your one that nobody ever reads, or it'll be the one that makes you $1 billion because
yeah,
it'll
yeah.
be the one that clicks with the right. I was chatting with Henry Brown last night, and every time I do one of these, there's always a moment of that I pick out of it as the funnest part of the interview. That was it right there. The way too weird to shop the agents is definitely the highlight of the interview. Henry's was his superheroes. He's lousy with color, so he used NFL team colors to color his
Oh,
superheroes. And I'm like, dude, that's the best thing I've ever heard for superheroes. That's genius, man. You just found a way to market superheroes to average Joe
mhm.
who's never read a comic book in his life. I mean,
Yeah,
you tell him that's the San Francisco 49ers colored superhero. Well, that's a thing, right? That's a thing. So
yeah,
to me, this is my marketing advice to Siobhan is I would slap that all over the cover of that sucker. It's way too weird to shop the agents. I think that's fantastic. I think
yeah.
that's the best line of the day. And on that note, we're coming up on a half an hour, Siobhan. It's been a really good half hour. Had a great
No,
time.
yeah,
But as we talked about early on, the attention span of the average watcher these days, half an hour, we've exceeded it by quite a bit. So
yeah.
I think for this time, I think we'll wrap it up. Is there anything else you wanted to get out there before we do, though? Was there any more stories you
I
wanted to
mean,
talk about before we finish up?
no. Although it'd be nice if people came to visit my Substack,
Well, wouldn't it just? I will make sure that this gets splashed out there in the notes. So everybody, if you like it, restack it. We love that. Come visit us, leave comments, leave likes, subscribe, all of that fun stuff. And because we're going to do more of these, and as long as there's support and as long as there's enthusiasm for this, I'll be here doing these. If you'd like to just sit down with Siobhan and the two of you do one of these, I will watch it and I'll watch the whole thing. So, if you're out there and you want to do one with me, hit me up in the DMs. I'm sure Siobhan would love to do one of these with somebody else.
yeah,
And this is how we find each other. This is how we find, because not only are we finding each other, but now anybody who follows me who doesn't follow Siobhan is going to see Siobhan's work, and hopefully vice versa.
yeah,
And we're gonna help each other get a little bit bigger and a little bit more reach. So until next
yeah.
time, guys. Thank you, Siobhan.
Yeah,
And
thank you.
oh no, my pleasure. It was a blast. I had a great
Yeah,
time. The sun is right in my eyes, and I
yeah.
cannot find the end button. There we go.
Oh
All
no.
right. Thank you, Siobhan. Until next time.
Yep. Bye.
Take care.
Oh.